Hi everyone, thanks for having me. I'm very pleased to be here. So this is what I've been asked to have a look at. You all presumably know about this: improving the experience of consumer-facing organisations through social media and evolving technologies, and having the confidence to innovate, adapt and invest resources wisely. Has anyone got the Harrison Hall app for the coffee chain that Tesco has bought 49% of? It's amazing, and within weeks, I think I'm allowed to say, you'll be able to pay through this app. Using the gateway drug that is coffee, this is training the consumer in this country in the advantages of checking in when you walk into a store. As you walk in, the barista knows your name, they've got your face on their till, you've prepaid, soon you'll be able to do that, so you've checked in before you've even arrived at the store, and then they've made it for you before you've even walked in, and they know your name. I mean, this is perfection. This is retail perfection. So of course you all know the Burberry store. It's so clever that you can order stuff off the catwalk and then they'll write your name on a nameplate and hide an RFID chip into the bag or the trench coat, send it to you in the post, you unwrap it, it's got your name on it, you've downloaded the app, you swipe the phone in its vicinity and it plays you a video of the making of your item, and then you walk into the store wearing the item, and by being in proximity to the interactive mirror it will again play the video of the making of your item. I'm sure you all know, you're all completely on top of Google Glass and other wearable smart technologies, and you're probably aware that Virgin Atlantic did a 1-month trial back in February for the first class customers. So you got out of your limo and your first class customer, so of course they've got the glass on, they can see your name, your profile's coming up, they know where you're going, they know what the weather's like, where you're going, what gate you're connecting to, and they can give you all of that information. In the future they say it will be also what's your favorite drink and what kind of food preferences you've got. They claim that it was very successful, and we need to watch this space to see if it will start to work throughout the service. But it is extremely emotional because they know about you and they are serving you in a much more kind of touchy-feely and emotive way. So looking at some technology that makes a difference. Are you familiar with Amazon Dash? It launched last month, it's pretty new. So it's for the grocery deliveries where you order one day and you get it the same day or the next day. And in this case, it's a gadget, they're calling it a wand, it's like a remote control, which you use to zap items to read the barcode on items you've already bought and they've run out. And this allows you to order more, and also you speak into it. If it's like a pineapple and it doesn't have a barcode, you say pineapple. So we're seeing this ability to check into a store in all sorts of different formats, where you're either checking in generally to the store with Harrison Hall with your app, or in other cases you may check into an actual rail of clothing and then the screen recognises you personally, Minority Report style, all those years ago. It still got it right, didn't it? Giving you a personalised selection based on your online profile. So beacons, I'm sure you guys are all very familiar with beacons. What's interesting, I think about beacons is that I think consumers don't really have any idea yet of how they can best be used. It's interesting for us that the major basketball, baseball league, one of those big sports leagues in America, has big stadiums, and they're using beacons, I think, in a way that is actually really desirable for consumers. With the baseball stadia, you walk in, obviously you've got the app, your phone is reading the signal from the beacons, and it's sending you historical stories about the history of that building and the history of what's happened there. And also, oh yeah, here's a discount for the Subway, you know, munchies in the break, which is useful. And then the next time you come back, it recognises it's your second visit. It doesn't need to tell you about the same history it told you about last time. It gives you some other information about some other part of, you know, the stadium's background. So I think that we have a lot more to see with beacons other than just what we've got at the moment with the Apple iBeacons and push marketing. This is Fiat and it's their car showroom in Brazil. These are 8 very nice looking young people wearing the uniform. They're in the car showroom in Brazil. They're wearing a headset which is basically Google Glass but another version. It's got audio in, it's got video out, and 6 million people are going onto the Fiat website every month, and they are acquiring one of these people for a short period of time to act as their avatar. And so you get Joao for 5 minutes or something, you get him booked for a slot, and you say, right, Joao, can you get in the Fiat 500? And you are experiencing and seeing what Joao is seeing, because you're seeing through his headset, and you're talking to him, and he's talking to you, and you're saying, can you just shut that door again? I just want to hear the click. Can you just turn over and look over your left shoulder? What's it like? What's the visibility like out that left window? Can you just get out now and show me how many bags go in that boot? 6 million people a month are checking this out. So this makes you think, oh, what could we do with Google Glass and retail? Could we be having 24-hour stores? And obviously the delivery wars. Volvo, you don't even have to go to a place to pick up your click and collect. They bring it to your car, and they have a special pin with only certain of the more modern Volvos, which gives them a digital key to open your car. On the app you can see that they're ready to deliver, and you say yes, okay, deliver. They get the PIN number, they open your boot, deliver, and on the app you can see that the boot was open for 25 seconds. You think, yeah, that's all right. 5 hours, probably not so good. And finally, and I think quite scarily, if you are retailers, any of you in the actual retail game, this is not a case study that cheers people up. This is a nightmare scenario for stock management. This is Castorama, or B&Q, in France, where they have digital shelf edge ticketing. And when we first covered this last quarter, it was about the fact that they were changing prices across the board depending on the day all the time. So it's a slow Monday morning, you get a percentage off, everyone gets the same percentage off. Now they are prototyping this new system whereby the price changes according to who is standing in front of that fixture, based on the proximity of your mobile device, which you have connected to your loyalty program. So what does all of this mean? I think it means literal fusion between home and store, with the idea of the Brazil Fiat thing. You know, you are experiencing the store, but you are actually at home in your gym jams. The move towards retail as cafe to society, it's got to be fun, it's got to be engaging, you've got to be learning stuff, and you've got to be role-playing in some way, shape or form. It has to have ultra flexible delivery, and I think personal pricing, scarily, will come. And that's me done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.